welcome back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Shorty Gorham Show, coming to you live from the Paloma Ranch, from the lodge, right here, as you can see in front of the fireplace.
What'd you call that? What'd you call that behind you?
The fireplace.
Yeah, I know, but you said before, what you said it was...
No, the Paloma Ranch, coming to you right here in front of the fireplace.
Call it your ambiance before.
Oh, the ambiance. Yeah, no, I had to. It was starting to die down. So actually, it's a little bit cool in here. So I had to throw a couple more logs on the fire, Chris. You know?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
You were going for the aesthetic value too.
Well, that works too, but at the same time, it is a little bit chilly in here.
That's good.
It is. Yeah, I don't have the
heaters.
The heaters going.
That place is so awesome.
Oh man, today I told you earlier, I was like, hey, look, I might be late to the show because we have mule deer hunters in camp, and so anyways, I don't know, when you were here, did you ever see that drop tine buck that we had in here that kind of lives right around here, but we always only saw him in headlights?
No.
But anyway, yeah, there's a cool buck in here. Anyways, we've been looking for him, and we found him today. Actually, I was going back I was at Lingus Flat, Oak Canyon, all that country.
Uh-huh.
Levi killed out, so he was back in the lodge, and he called. He's like, hey, that drop time buck's here at the lodge. So we hauled butt back, and then by the time we missed him by about 4.5 minutes, he was out in the wide ass open, and went back up in the brush, and they all laid down. But you can see him right here from the lodge, and you know how it is in here. We got those accordion windows.
Yeah.
So we come driving in the driveway, and Levi and the kids and everything are all up here looking through the windows. We can see them, and we're like, okay. So we pull up here, go find the buck, and he's laid down in the brush. And what are we gonna do? Well, we'll and this group of hunters that are here, super cool people from South Texas. They actually live real close to Levi. Got a ranch over in Southwest Texas. You got to be careful how you say West Texas. They're in Southwest Texas.
Texas comes to a point.
There's
West Texas has got to be like up in the part that kicks out.
West Texas is very vague, in my opinion.
It is.
It's like everything west is West Texas, but they're in Southwest Texas. And then Texas is just weird. They and I lived there for a long time, but people in Houston claim they're from South Texas, and South Texas is like, no, you guys are. You're not allowed to be in. You're from East Texas. You're not South Texas. But it's got its own dynamics. But anyways, these are good people. They're hunters. They're killers. They got a game ranch there in Southwest Texas. Anyways, we come back up here to lodge, and what are we gonna do? I said, we can go try to kill him where he's at, or we can wait him out. He's gonna come out in the open eventually. So we just hung out here in the kind of the bar area and there was 3 spotting scopes and binoculars set up all over here, looking down there, and we were watching him. And Joey says, this is the best blind I've ever been in my life.
No doubt.
So
no doubt.
We just watched them until they moved, and then once they moved, we went and made it happen. Got him killed. That kid stoned him too. It was cool. All on video. You got
a picture of it? You're on your phone, so you can't.
I'm on my phone. I don't know how to send it to you. Levi and them should be back pretty quick. I'll have him send it to you. But anyways,
I'll put it up.
He stoned him, high shoulder shot, dropped him right in his tracks. It's all on camera. It's a cool deal. It was fun. 2 young kids, both got them knocked out. So, and then
that's like last year when when I was guiding Ken.
Yeah.
And we killed that elk across from the lodge, and everybody was standing up in there watching us the whole time from the bar while we're out elk hunting. And as soon as that elk hit the ground, I think everybody in the lodge started cheering.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then when Ken killed that, and just to give you guys a little bit of background on Ken suffered a amputation due to COVID, and super cool guy. Everybody loved him, and we were actually. I remember we were in the Crowfoot when the radio cracked, and they were like, "Ken just killed a bull," and everybody in my truck was like, "Yeah!" It was awesome. It was cool.
Everybody was cheering for Ken.
This deal, these guys were all watching from the lodge. We went down there and killed this mule deer, and then of course I had to get on the radio. I don't remember what I called myself, Bird Dog 1 or something like that. we need an extraction unit down here right away. We got a mule deer down, but they watched the whole damn thing. It was cool. It was a cool day.
You got to put a show on for those kids, man.
Oh, you don't have to put one on for them. They're doing their own show, man, and they're videographers. It's actually pretty entertaining. They're making their own videos and stuff. And when we find a link to whatever they're posting it on or whatever, we'll get it out there.
Yeah.
Cool. It's fun to have young kids that are super into hunting, but you know how modern day is. They're also videoing the whole thing, and like, you're just driving, and all of a sudden they pick up the camera and they're videoing stuff, and I'm like,
I know what that's like trying to video with you.
Yeah, and well, they're like, oh yeah, I'll cut that into something. It's fun. These are good kids, a good family, and
I don't know if I can get this video up. It's hilarious.
It's fun to have them. What? Oh, I know exactly what video you're.
We were riding in the.
When you told me to just shut up and drive.
Shut up and drive.
Yeah.
And I had the camera set up, and I was trying to capture some of that, live action type stuff, and you're sitting over there, and you said something. I forget what you said. You say, "Oh, that thing's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to get one of those." And you ruined the whole shot, and I was like, "Just shut up and drive." You gave me a look. You're like, "Well, you dickhead." And then you realized what I was talking about, and you started laughing.
No. Well, I knew, but I still got to give you shit.
Yeah, I can't. I don't see it. I'll look for it once we get our guests in there.
There's no biz like show biz, Chris. Right?
That's right.
Yeah, but no. So we actually like going back to that, and we'll talk to these guys about a little bit what kind of weather they got. But dude, we got super lucky to kill those three now, 3 mule deer, because we have had nothing but rain for the last 2 days. Like, these guys flew in from South Texas, landed. They flew in just in time to beat the storm. Got touchdown in Raton at the I don't even know what the hell they call that airport, but it's owned by Express Ranch, which is a long-time supporter of the PBR. So I'm going to give them a plug. But anyways, threw that sucker in our hangar and hauled butt over here. And we were like, yeah, we might be stuck in the lodge for the next 2 days because it's going to be raining. And we actually, we did get lucky and got a couple killed and good ones. And so anyways, that's what we like I said, we had 4 inches here this morning. I haven't checked the gauge. Just saw some lightning.
I did too. I saw it behind you through the window.
Yeah. So we've had a little over 4 inches here, just down the road. You know where Mario and Inga live, Fort Trenchera, Colorado. They had a little over 5 there.
Yep.
And which brings me to a point.
4 inches. I know what your point is.
Well, no.
4 inches is about the best you can do.
Well, we'll just skip over that because you don't even want to get me started. But anyways, right just south of there, and I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna piss some people off, but I really don't care. There's a reason that private landowners don't like public hunters, and I'll tell you why, Chris. I got a phone yesterday. I was out here hunting the same deer that we just killed a couple hours ago. And so I was out in these fields down below the house, the meadows.
Right.
And I'm looking over toward the main entrance. And everybody won't understand this, but I know you do. But anyways, Levi and his hunters are coming out of there with a dead deer. And there's a white, I won't say their name, and I actually know their name, but there was a white Dodge lifted big tire mega cab doodly, goes by them hauling ass down the county road. And
down the county road.
Yep. Well,
in a rainstorm, in a mud slick.
Yeah, and they go down there, and I get a call from my neighbor, and I won't mention his name because I don't want to get him involved in this, but I get a call from my neighbor late yesterday evening. He said, hey, there was a big white dually drove all through our pastures, right past the no trespassing sign. Didn't take the roads, drove all through the pastures, tore the hell out of his land, and left out of there. Then he's coming back up. They're throwing beer cans out on the county road all over the place. Mario happened to find, they stopped at our alfalfa field in Glass. They dropped their trash out there, but it happened to have a receipt, which was a GNC receipt, had their member number on there and a name. So I know exactly who it is. Yeah. Exactly what they drive. I don't have a license plate number, but anyways, if you're a public land hunter, don't be an asshole. That's my whole point. Like, there's a reason we don't like you guys. It's because people like that, and it's frustrating when you're trying to do things right, and then you got some sorry bastard like that out there. And I think as hunters,
that goes for any hunter, though. I mean,
no, I agree. I agree.
You do not get to Correct. Any anonymity when Correct. You're a hunter, because when people see guys in a truck wearing camouflage, they're hunters. So everything you do from that point on, you don't just get to represent yourself anymore. You're representing all of us. And,
Correct.
People like that, I do not want people like that representing who I am and what I do.
Exactly. Yep. And that's my point is
we're fighting for our lives.
Correct. And if you guys see somebody doing shit like that, please do what you can to stop it or report them or whatever, because it sucks.
Sounds like the party showed up.
Sucks for the people that own the land. Yeah, the party just showed up.
Yeah.
They won't be here long. They'll be going out to the skin and shed, but yeah, they're all giving me the thumbs up. So sounds like
cool.
They got a
good deal.
One. They got a good one. But anyways, I'm going to get off that. I just want to say, if you're a public land hunter, respect these guys drove right past the no trespassing sign through a field when there was a road. It wasn't a public road. It was a private road. They shouldn't have been on it either. But if you guys see or hear about people doing that, kick them in the nuts and tell them they're screwing us, because it really is why we fight against that stuff.
Yep.
So anyways.
Yep.
Off that topic.
You got to have support of landowners if we want to continue to hunt. That's for sure.
Right.
Yep.
So, right on. Right. Well, hang on before we get going in there. What the hell you been doing?
Man, I haven't been doing anything. I'm bound. I'm still bound at home, man.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe you haven't been hunting, but you've been doing something. There's, and this is something else I want to talk about. I'll just publicly apologize right now. There's going to be times I'm here today, but there's going to be times when we're not here every week. We're supposed to do this every Sunday, but we're sometimes busy doing other things, hunting. We got hunters in here right now. Obviously, I was able to get here, but anyway, but you have life too, but it is a chore to do the Houndsman XP podcast and to keep up with all what you're doing. That eats a lot of your time. So don't say you haven't been doing nothing.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when I say nothing, I mean I'm looking at wishing I was sitting there by that fireplace with you right 100%. Now, and instead of
don't get weird. Don't get
weird. Stuck in Indiana. Well, you're letting the fire go out, so somebody needs to be there to tend it.
Well,
but no,
we're
producing several shows a week. We're working on Colorado Proposition 127. We're working overtime on that, and we've got a couple more weeks before the election. And I'm not working as hard as some other guys. I mean, I think Cody Lostro's out every day putting up signs and knocking on doors. And I know that he's not the only one. I just talked to Cody a lot. Justin Anglovich, I mean, they're in full mode right now trying to save lion hunting in Colorado. And working on that part of it and trying to fundraise and do a lot of different stuff because it's going to come right down to the wire there. I saw some stats the other day. What is it? It's 45% to 44% is the divide on that. So 45 to 44, or is it 44 and 40? It's somewhere around there. There's like 11 or 12% of the population that's undecided. So
right,
it's coming right down.
We need to win that 12%.
Absolutely, it's like it always is. You're always fighting for that. Those people in the middle, those are the votes that we always need. So current polling is showing about 12% undivided or undecided, and it's going to come right down to the wire. So if you're not educated, there's still time to get educated. And when you see somebody on social media not knowing how they're going to vote, then if you're not educated, you can't help. That's all there is to it.
How many days we have?
It's the 5th, so what are we at? 16 days.
So I'm one of those guys that I hate being repetitive on social media and posting stuff and reposting stuff and whatever. But this is a life-changing event for hunters, and probably eventually anglers as well. But
they want it all.
They want it all. And I just beg people, like, I know you don't want to repost stuff that you've already posted before, but this is so important. This is it's going to decide what happens in America. Colorado. I don't even live in Colorado. I live in New Mexico.
I don't either.
But it's that important.
I've never turned a hound loose in Colorado. But I know what the fallout is.
Correct.
From losing this in Colorado. And there's so many things out there that get our attention. We can't do anything about the carbon index floating over our country from China.
Sure.
Very little we can do about that. That's out of our wheelhouse. But this is absolutely something that we can pitch in and do. It frustrates the crap out of me when I see people on social media saying, "Oh, well, that's Colorado. They've been screwed up for a long time." Well, it's not. It's not Josh and Jason Whitaker's fault. It's not Cody Lostro's fault. It's not Justin Anglovich's fault.
Well,
it's
not only going to affect them.
Fault.
It's going to affect It's going to affect you.
Everybody thinks it's
Virginia,
all in there.
It's going to affect you in New York.
Right.
It's going to affect you everywhere. And if you listen to, Dan Gates does a really good job of explaining. Like he said, this will be, if this goes through, we don't beat it. This will be the first time that trophy hunting has been actually defined.
Yeah. Let's get our guests in here to weigh in on this.
They can run that everywhere. So before we do, I just want to tell everybody, maybe don't share it publicly if you don't want to be repetitive and do that stuff, but share it with your friends from Colorado. If you know anyone in Colorado, share it with them and let them know, hey, I had several messages today where people were like, hey, can you send me more information? We're from Colorado, but we want to be more informed. I sent them the links to get the verbiage from Save the Hunt Colorado, because the verbiage is in there. You can download it and see it. Share that with them so they can see it and read it for themselves, and let them know that it's not only going to affect Colorado, it's going to affect the whole United States. So, but yeah, let's get those guys in here. Glad to have these guys. Had a great time. You and I drove down to the Horses, Hounds, and Mules sale last year, and bring them on there, Chris.
You got Wade, Hatch, and Trey Narramore.
Howdy, everybody.
We got like real cowboys in here tonight.
I'm telling you.
Yep.
We don't have our hats on. We're just hatless cowboy. Yep.
You guys don't need hats. See, I can wear a hat, and everybody knows I'm not a cowboy, Wade. But when they look at you, you don't need to wear a hat. Everybody knows you're a cowboy.
Trey, he needs to wear his hat.
Yeah. All hat, no cattle, huh, Wade?
That's me, buddy. That's me.
I didn't have a hat on, but my forehead's too white, so I had to put one on because I was blinding myself in the screen.
That forehead's getting longer too. I hate to tell you.
Oh yeah. What have y'all been up to? How's things in your guys' neck of the woods over there on the west side of New Mexico?
Well, it's same as you guys. Lots of rain. We had about 2 inches. We're not really prepared to handle that much water. It's felt like I was riding Noah's Ark this morning to go feed. It rained about 1 inch last night, and it floated everything. It's been draining my arenas underwater, and colder temperatures. It's going to be a wet winter. It went straight from summer to winter. We didn't get very much of a fall. It cooled off pretty fast.
Yep.
What about you, Trey?
Yeah. Man, it just got done raining over here, and I hear the thunderstorm coming again. We got about 2.5 inches over here last night, so trying to stay busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir.
That's well, if it's like our neck of the woods, that's a lot of rain for you guys. Were you guys pretty dry coming into this rain, or?
Over here it wasn't bad.
Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead.
No, it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't bad over here. We had quite a bit of moisture. About September, we had a lot of rain, but now that we got this last dose, maybe the wheat will come on over here in this part of the country.
So, yeah.
No.
So what do you guys? You guys go ahead. I don't know if we.
Yeah.
It's a good mule deer buck.
Mm-hmm. That's one they just killed.
Oh yeah.
Right now. Yeah, that was just 30, 45 minutes ago.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Escondido hunting.
There you go.
Yep.
You're right.
I still have the shirt from when I was like 15 when I went over there. It says Escondido hunting right here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Went with Van. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, you came over the ranch with Van Johnson?
Yep, Van and Rusty. Everybody got paid pretty good, and I got back. I never got paid. I was packing all the stuff. And Rusty gave me this little hound dog, called him Fidel, and turns out it wasn't even really Rusty's. It was Larry's. And then Rusty just said that, Larry, your dog's gone. It's Wade's now. And then he's been his dog for a very long time. He's very thankful for that. So that was the best thing that could have happened was I got that dog for hanging out over there. So
who's that Van guy? I never heard of him.
Oh, Van, you know him, gosh dang.
No, I'm teasing. Yeah.
He's been coming out more. I'm sure bummed he moved. I sure miss getting to see him all the time.
Yeah. I get to see him once in a while. He stopped by the other day. So
did he ever come and get his? Did he come and get his RV?
yeah, that's why he stopped by.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but yep. So no. So let's get into this. Let's talk about the horses, hounds, and mule sale a little bit. What you guys are all wrapped up. I'm sure you're totally relieved because most people don't know what it takes to do an event like that.
It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Lots of headache.
Yeah, no, for sure. But were you guys pleased with it? What do you guys think after the sale was over?
Trey, you go. No, you got to go first.
I thought it was really good. I mean, we had a lot of fun at that thing. We liked that it was set up the way it was.
That's all right, Trey.
Am I still there?
Me.
Okay, good. No, shoot, I thought it was really good. I was real pleased with the turnout and glad we had it in an indoor building with good air conditioner this year. I think that helped our crowd a bunch. And shoot, I mean, I'm glad we did it there, and thought we had a lot of good stock. And for what's been going on around the country, I thought it was a really good sale. You know, it's a pretty niche deal, but it still follows the economy just like everything else. Talking about price wise, but you know,
sure.
the value of the animals. But I thought the attendance was good, and I'm glad I think people had a good time. I hope they did anyway.
I sure as hell did.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, but I have a good time most places I go. But are we going to have that? Are we going to have it at the same place this following year, or do we know yet?
Well, we're going to move it again.
Perfect.
To a place that we liked it there, but we thought it could be better. You know, some people say, well, you've moved it around quite a bit. What gives? But we've never really been more than 20 minutes away from where we started.
Right.
So we just,
sure.
It'll come out pretty soon where we're going to have it. We'll have a pretty good promotional video and kind of going to leave it a surprise, but I think everybody will really, really be impressed with it coming 2025. So we're pretty excited. We got some events planned and going to make it even more of a destination sale. You know, not only is it a sale, it's so much of a gathering for everybody to come and see each other and reunion basically. And so we try to really capitalize on that because that's just as much fun for us as it is for everybody that attends it.
What's and I love the fact that you guys are just keep trying to improve it, because whenever you quit trying to improve something, you're going backwards, in my opinion. But without giving away the location, because I know you guys were going to want to announce that later, but what are some of the improvements that we're looking at? What are some of the things you guys like about this new location? And basically, what's the reason you guys went there? What do you like about this place?
It's going to be cooler. We'll tell you, it's going to be a little bit further north than it's been. And another thing, me and Trey never knew this would catch on, but our dang trail ride. That has really caught on, and I had no idea it would be that good.
Sure.
We were kind of thinking maybe get 15, 20 people, and now people are asking us, hey, are you going to do another trail ride? So we've had to trailer and move around and do some stuff. And I said, Trey, it's a great time to ride those mules outside. And I said, I didn't think this would catch on, but we better just capitalize on it. We got to ride right from where the mules are stalled. So I wanted to be in a place where, they could go over some hills and, whatever, jump over some water, do something, it's a little more realistic than just riding over a rock slide. I guess that's pretty realistic, but we have had mules that we've sold that did not cross water, and they said they'd been raised in a desert. So that was an interesting situation, but we're trying to any of that stuff that's coming along.
Yeah.
Just a little more protection.
Yeah.
For us.
Also, I'll add on to that. I think this other place is this would be a place you could bring the whole family and they would all have fun. I understand.
Very cool.
Sometimes your significant other isn't real impressed with all them mules and the hounds, But this
right.
they'll like to go to this. It'll be nice. I mean, they'll be able to go and kind of tourist deal, and it'll be real pretty part of the country. So they'll be able to enjoy themselves as well.
That and an added thing, in my opinion, when you oftentimes when you trailer a mule to a different location and ride from there, you're not seeing the true mule versus riding from the location they're at away from their buddies. Yeah. And that's when you really can see a mule, whether you can ride them away from other mules or whatnot. I think it's a great idea, because I think you'll see more of what you're looking at to purchase. You know,
you'll peel them layers back.
Correct.
Yes,
exactly. Sir. Yeah. And you guys have been around mules for a long time, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's one of my best mules, when I leave the house, she in a trailer, she wants to go back to there. I get her away from them. I can ride her away from anything. That's not a problem. But when I trailer her away, she's like wanting to go back to the other mules. So they do get a little bit attached. I think that'll be a good opportunity for people to see the mules that ride away from other mules and go out on their own and do stuff. Sure. That's one of the other pluses. Just to what you guys are doing
in that deal. We want to represent him exactly how they are. If he's really good, we're going to represent him as really good. If he's sorry, we're going to represent him as sorry, and we're going to be plain about it. And we're not going to cater to we don't cater to the traders. We're not going to, if they want to try to pull something, I mean, we just don't go for it. Bring us something good, and we enjoy selling that. If you don't trying to pull the wool over somebody, we don't want to get anybody hurt. Sometimes stuff just happens, but we don't ever try to sneak anything by, and we, in a way, kind of want to see all their holes. If they have a hole, let's find it. At least we know it. And then if you want to deal with it, go ahead. And if you don't, that's fine too. We'll do something.
And before they even bring them to the deal, we say, hey, if there's something about this thing we need to know, you need to leave them at the house. We don't want you to bring it. We don't need to put up with a sorry mule. Nobody does.
No.
Don't bring that sorry rascal over here.
But even a good mule or a good horse or a good dog, they have their holes. But absolutely. Is it something you can live with? Is it a big problem? You know what I mean? Like I think that's the important thing is they all have. I shouldn't say a hole. They all have their niches.
We've tried to be good about. Like, we want to make sure that the right people get the right animal.
Right.
Right. If you're in there bidding on one Shorty and he's 4 years old and kind of green, but like a guy can get by on him and he's going to get better, we want to sell you that one, because we know you're going to be all right.
No, probably not.
Well, yeah.
No.
No, but really, I mean.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
If some guy that's wanting to hunt elk and he's pretty green, me and Wade can see that. We don't want to sell you one that we'd rather not you bid on him.
Right.
You know what
exactly.
I mean? So
exactly.
we try to take care of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to come up with a deal to get a little bit of a consulting deal. The Legacy Ranch Horse sale has 2 trainers, and they rate all those ranch horses from 1 to 4 as far as the level of what it takes to ride them. And it's kind of difficult when all those mules aren't consigned just between Trey and I, so we don't know them that good. We're trying to figure out some way to have some consulting, so then if somebody wants to bid, they can bid with confidence and not be, and not have any guess in their mind about what's going to happen. We have a pretty good direction and pretty good understanding, and we're trying to figure out some way that we can get some more, better way to consult everybody that's looking in better direction.
Sure.
In other words, quality control is tough.
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely is.
And you have to work at it every time. It's not like it fixes itself. You have to really talk to them and get after them kind of and make sure that everything is what they say it is. So.
Sure. No. And
pretty good though.
Yeah.
How do you do it? I mean, how do you call out some of the junk?
Well, I guess for an example, like Scotty Derringer, and they're never gonna. And that not saying this is junk. This isn't. He wasn't. But like Scotty said, hey, this is a Cowboys mule, and if you don't know what we're talking about, you don't need to bid.
Correct.
Like this little thing, he's gonna get you all the way across the roughest part of the country and follow everybody, and it's gonna be good. You know? And he wasn't gonna kick a dog, and he wasn't gonna do nothing. But like he didn't want a green guy getting that thing, and so we just called it like that. Like, hey, if you're a young guy and a cowboy guy and you want to buy one that'll get you across the country and you might have to doctor a calf or something, here's the mule, you know. But don't be surprised if he don't grab his ass and run off. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's fine. Like Scotty wants to do that, and he was honest about it. That's great, you know.
Well, and so I think the important part of what you're saying is your guys' sale. You're not totally just trying to sell to dudes. Like you're trying to sell to hunters, to cowboys, to people that are gonna use. Now,
yes, sir.
If a dude shows up and there's a damn good mule, 100%, go get him. But at the same time, most of your animals, I shouldn't say most, a lot of the animals are hardcore hunting animals, whether it be a hound or a mule or a horse.
Yes, sir.
And it's gotta be hard to get them in the right hands, but you're trying to do that, and people should know that coming there is it's like we're not selling dude string mules or dude string horses. We're selling horses and mules and hounds that you can go catch shit with.
Yep.
And exactly. But you might have to be a hand to do it.
Yeah, and there was also but like I said, we did have a variety. Like there was the high selling mule was that sorrel mule that sold for $23,000. Lady on the internet bought him, and he went all the way to Maine. And she was going to hunter jump on him, and I got a phone call, and she absolutely loves him, and she's kind of a novice lady, you know.
Right.
And
right.
But like I guarantee you, like if we bought him, we probably like he would bridle up and he would ride around, and you could put a spur in him, and he'd like I said, he'd bridle up and move around, and that kid had him riding around really good, and she loves him.
Yeah.
So that would be a lady that absolutely probably grains him twice a day in a box stall, and brushes on him every day, and gets him out, and he's probably fresh as all get out, and she gets along just fine. So that's something we're proud of.
I got a bunch of questions. So
yeah,
I think a lot of people, unless they're pretty confident in themselves about what they're buying, then are they standing right next to you or what, Shorty?
No, they're over here. We getting a bunch of noise.
Oh man, it sounds like they're screaming right in your mic.
Yeah, but, welcome to the lodge.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's part of being in the entertainment business, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Guarantee you, they're happy, man. They killed three good mule deer. They're happy, and the beer's flowing.
Oh, there you go. There you
go. Yeah.
All right, so I think a lot of people are a little bit, if you're confident in what you're doing, what you're looking at, you can spot a lot of stuff in a mule or a horse. But there's a lot of people that might go to a sale and they're a little bit nervous about buying something because a good rider can make a sorry mount look pretty good, whereas you put somebody else on it you put somebody like me on it, and then all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, this isn't what I thought I was buying. So what should buyers look for when they come to a sale to try to find something that's good quality?
Trey, I'll let you lead and I'll follow up.
I think for one, if I were to go to a sale, Chris, I wouldn't sit around, and if the sale starts at noon, I wouldn't sit around and go get breakfast at 9 and sit around till 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then all of a sudden show up. Like, I would be over there early that morning, 8 o'clock or something, when they're feeding their stock and doing whatever they need to do. And I think a guy needs to go over there and do his own homework. You need to make your guess, because Wade and I, we're just agents. We have put together an event, and we've brought consigners together that we have made a point to make sure that they know that they need to bring good stock to the sale. But I still think that you're responsible for doing your homework and making your best judgment about what you need. And also, you need to be honest with yourself. You can. Larry Webb always says you can lie to your friends and you can lie to everybody else, but when you start lying to yourself, that's when you get in trouble.
Right.
So you need to be honest with yourself. And
honest in what way, Trey? Honest in what way, Trey?
And saying like, hey, that mule looks like he really rides around, and boy, that kid's really making him go fast, and he's doing this and doing that, and he's jumping him up over this log, and he looks pretty athletic, and boy, he's only 5 years old, or boy, he's only 3 years old. I think I could, boy, that'd be neat, wouldn't it? Then I could grow together, and say, you're kind of a novice guy. Well, you don't need that one. You need the one that's gonna, you need the one that maybe he's 15 years old, been there, done that. Because you put intermediate and intermediate together, and it's not a good thing. If you're a number 4 and a number 4 in the team roping world, it's going to be pretty tough for you to put 4 in a row together. Just the way it is.
Yeah.
But, so you need to put yourself on top of something that's been there, done that, and it's going to take care of you. And you need to be honest with yourself about what you need to purchase, because I know some things look cool and some things are. One guy, like you said, can make it look really good, but you're not going to make it look like that. I know if I go to a team roping horse sale and I see a guy there that is real handy and makes his horse look really good, I know that I'm not going to be able to make him look like that. So I need to be honest about my ability to put that animal in the position where it can win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big part of that.
My whole question though, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock in the morning, 7 if you can make it.
You need to, you need to be there about 6:30.
Yeah, you need to be there at daylight.
Get there about 6:30. Watch out. Watch from, because most of the people that are consigning stuff to this deal, hunters, and they typically don't wake up late if they're.
No, they do not.
If they're hunting off mules, just hunting in general.
Yeah, that's correct.
But yeah, get your ass out of bed and go down there and look at them and see what they are.
Heck, Wade, we were up Friday morning. What time we get up at 2:30 in the morning or something to go?
Yeah, 2 or 2:30, and then we made a circle and picked everybody up.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
Trailed the line.
Hell, there's some of us might still been up.
I think our crew.
I think you were. Shorty was still up.
Yeah, we even trailed lion that morning.
Heck yeah.
Just to add on to Trey's comment of growing together, I hear that all the time. Everybody, typically, they see a young horse that has potential or a young mule, and he seems kind of cheap for they're paying for their blue sky, and they have this mindset in their head that, well, I'm green and he is too, and we can grow together.
You guys are being way too politically correct. Let me just cut you off right there. Let me just cut you off there, because I've been in the horse world, as you guys have, my whole life. you guys at this point don't want to make anyone mad. I really don't give a shit. So I'm just telling you, if you think you're going to buy a young horse or a young mule and you or your child is going to grow with that animal, you're fooling yourself. It's the dumbest thing you could possibly do. If you're an amateur,
it's dangerous.
If your kid is an amateur, buy him an old wore out bastard. That's
what I broke in on.
Yeah, no, that's the best thing to do is get them something with some age on it that's gentle, that's not going to hurt them. But to think that your kid and your animal, your horse or mule, is going to be able to grow together is foolish, and you're asking
what happens
for a wreck.
What happens is you get that green, and then the kid gets scared, and then they don't want anything to do with it anymore.
Correct. You know, they need something old, been there, done that. And you know that of course they only want to pay a couple $1,000s because their kid's just getting started, or whatever. But
couple $1,000, I want to spend $800 and have the next.
Well, no, but you're okay. So let me ask you, what's your child's life worth?
$800. I haven't got any more than $800.
Yeah. Well,
oh, wait a second. That's my mother-in-law. Wait a second. No, really. That's my mother-in-law's horse.
So seriously, ask yourself, what is my child's life worth? What is that child's life worth to me?
Well, I think that's where it comes in.
And you can't go buy a colt or a young mule or whatever. You need to go buy the best son of a gun you can buy that's probably 15 to 20 years old, and put your kid or yourself on that, and you're buying insurance, because if you buy them a colt, they're gonna get hurt, and it's not a good deal. That's where so many, and it's across the board in the equine world. When people come into it, I want to buy a young horse. I got a young kid, and they can grow and learn together. No bullshit. That is 100% false.
Rainbows. It's just a way to have.
You guys know
I think that's where it comes into being honest.
Because I don't care. You guys are trying to be politically correct, but am I wrong?
No, and even worse than that, go buy them one of them dirt bikes or a 4-wheeler. That'll be their last birthday gift.
Right. So no, but anyway, and that's where I think, like, these. Sometimes somebody will bring a 20-year-old mule or whatever. Whatever. That mule still has, for your child or for your noviceness, that mule still has another 10 years. And
100%.
And it's well worth the investment to get that one and learn on it, and it'll teach you what you need to know, and then go from there. But
I think that's where the honesty comes in, Shorty, because most people think that, they haven't got that kind of money really to put in to buy it. So they're dishonest with themselves. Like Trey was saying and so they try to go cheap, and you get what you pay for.
And
then you could also come with a lot of hospital bills.
That's what I was going to say. Your medical bills will be more than what you could have bought a good mule for. Or a good horse for, or buy what you can afford, and buy an old one. If you're just beginning, don't know what you're doing, buy one with a little age on it, or there was that mule that you rode, Chris.
That was a nice mule.
Hunter has a 3-year-old mule, and just as dog gentle.
Oh man, he was right up my alley.
Of Hunter Meekum's, there is those that come along, but they're rare. And
I think you had him on. I think you had him shot up on something.
No bullshit. If it was anyone else, I would suspect you might be right. But
no, he was, and I mean, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saddle worn, but I broke some horses and mules, but it's been a long time too. So for me at 55, it's probably been 10 or 15 years since I've ridden anything really.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as getting back on a bicycle when you're thinking about things don't heal the way they used to, and I'm a little smarter than I was when I was 21 years old. I mean, I rode Mustang at Arabian crosses. I've been bucked off on Arabs. All this other junk, but I was 15 to 30
Arab
years old
horses
then
or
too. Huh?
Arab horses or?
Yeah, Arabs.
Yeah, I got you.
Arabians. I know.
I got you.
I was in Desert Storm, but they kept those.
That's where I was going. That's where I was going.
Yeah, they kept them locked up behind the gates. They didn't. Yeah.
Another thing I was going to say too is, sorry, Trey. Just one more point. When you're looking at these mules, I would look at the consignor's background. If you're a guy that
there you go, that's a good point,
and gets tired of walking, very, very good friend of mine, Jim Farmer, said, I walked too much when I was younger. Ride as long as you can. And that's a very good point. Save your steps. You don't know how many steps you have. And look at your background of your consignors. So if you're needing a mule to line hunt off of, I would get a mule from a line hunter. If you're needing a mule that you would like to enjoy on the weekends and ride on the trails and not necessarily use them that hard, I would go to a consignor that primarily sells mules or works in a way where he just goes through the mountains. Although they're still traveling through the country, they are different. And I would just look at the background of your consignors.
What's the difference, Wade? What's the difference?
I think
let's just talk about this like we're all a bunch of novices here.
Right.
Okay. What's the difference between that line hunt mule and that weekend warrior mule?
I think the weekend warrior mules are a little bit more numbed out, quieter. Like take for example, like I have a couple mules at my house, and I would not put a hunter that is not rode very much on any of them. I have separate stock for them. But my mules, I mean, you can just climb up the mountain. Me and Trey swap back and forth, and if you're just going up the mountain, you just look up a rock slide and say, "Well, we're just going to go up that today." And by golly, they just go up it. And I think that's the difference there is the line hunter mules, I think they get used a lot harder.
Well, that's important. That's an important point, and I'd like to elaborate on that if I can.
It's your show.
We had, we sold a lot of horses off the ranch when I was living in California. And, these mules that you're talking about, they're getting used every day. These guys, these full-time lion hunters, they're getting used every day, and they show well, they are well, they're good, but don't think that you can go put that mule up or horse in a pen for 6 months and get them out and see the same thing
on a full bill of alfalfa hay.
Yeah, right, and grain. They got to grain them, they got whatever. But if you're looking for a trail mule, look for it just exactly like what you're saying. Looking for it from somebody that's kind of more dialed into that. But if you're looking for a trail mule and you buy it from somebody that's cowboying or lion hunting or whatever, and that's using the hell out of this mule's getting, or horse getting rode 6-8 hours a day, every day of their life, don't expect that you can go put that animal in a pen for 6 months and then get it out and it's going to be the same animal. And that fault, that goes back to what we were talking about. Do your research, do your talking, but go talk to the owner, go fill this animal out. But that, to me, that was the biggest mistake that I ever saw. I don't sell many hell, I hadn't sold a horse in 20 years, but I did for quite a while.
It's because you skinned everybody and nobody will buy one from you anymore.
No, I was working for a ranch, and we, that was kind of our deal. We would use them as ranch horses for a couple of years and then sell them to a lot of team pinners and sorters and this different stuff. They were ranch horses, but we used them every day. And then occasionally you'd get one, you'd sell them there, and then they'd put them up and they'd feed them grain for 6 months and never get them out of the stall, and get them out of the stall. and then that horse would hump up and they were mad. It's like, you bought them, you tried them, you bought them, everything was good, but the horse was getting used all the time,
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. You mentioned alfalfa hay and grain for a mule.
Yep. Yeah.
What happens when you put alfalfa hay and grain in a mule and you don't work it?
Well, they just turn into a different animal. For one,
they don't need. What happens?
Well, they don't need the nutrition that a horse or a cow does. Like a mule can live off very little nutrition. So it would be the closest thing. So just most people that watch this podcast understand, but some people that don't, it would be like giving your kid a couple of Mountain Dews and then locking them in the closet. They want to do something. They're excited. They want to go do something. And when you get them out, all that energy is built up over months and months, and they're ready to roll. The way I look at it is it's like, having an Arnold Schwarzenegger supplement diet and not working out. It's not going to do anything for you. It's a waste of money, and you're just going to get fat. But Wade, what do you think? The worst thing is the behavior that comes behind that.
Have you ever heard of Terry Nichols?
No.
Terry Nichols was a guy back in the 90s. He was he would travel around and do mule seminars. He's from Oklahoma. He's pretty handy. He was a cowboy. Did a lot of good stuff. Worked a lot of cattle and stuff. And his saying that always stuck with me is a mule cannot handle prosperity. You start charging them up on sweet feed and high protein, and they do better on a handful of corn and grass hay.
Yeah, but that's I'll agree and disagree. That's a horse too.
Yeah.
It's a dog too.
Dog too, yeah.
It's you know what I mean?
I don't need to feed my wife's pit bull a Nookshuk 3232 to lay on the couch. Something's going to snap in his brain, and they will find a job, and if you don't give them one, they'll find one for you, and it may be a rodeo, but it's going to be their job for today.
Right. No.
There was a reason that they used them mules back in the day for whatever they're building the railroads and everything. It's because they could do twice the work on half the feed.
Correct.
And there was a reason for that,
Yep.
Wade's as handy as anybody I know on a mule. What do you think, Wade?
I think there's a big difference between skinny broke and fat broke. And I think you got to know who you're.
Define both.
So I've rode horses that were skinny broke, and I try to have mine fat broke, if that makes sense. Like I can leave. Like
what's the difference?
I used to sort at the sale barn, and they're just used like a horse. And if I step on mine and haven't been rode for a month, and I just hawk it in them and step on, they better be the same.
Hawk it in them.
Hawk it in them.
As means
hawk to it.
Well, oh God, no, we're not going there. No, what he means by hawk it in him, just pull that cinch tight and step on him right off, and
yeah,
that's what you mean. I'm just trying to clarify for some of our people that don't ride horses.
This is going on YouTube, so anybody can find it. So you got to tell us the difference between skinny broke and fat broke. Break that down, Wade.
Absolutely. So fat broke is an honest broke, and skinny broke is just a toleration. So most people, you bring you a mule and you start it, and it's typically it's either a little starved down most of the time. And I tell them it's better if you wait to start that mule when he's fat. And they said, well, why is that? He's going to be stronger. And I say, well, when he gives, it's honest. When it's something, a horse or something that's skinny, all they're doing is toleration. You don't want a toleration give. You want an honest give. And what that means is that they quit tolerating. What they're doing when they tolerate is they're just going along with whatever maneuver or behavior you're looking for them to do, because they know eventually that you're going to leave them alone. And eventually that toleration runs out, just like a person's fuse would. If their boss is chewing them out every day and they just tolerate it, then eventually that fuse, it comes apart, and then you got a problem. And then I call it, when you got your horse or your mule, when they're fat broke, you can do whatever you want, and you know that whatever, it's honest, whatever they do, it's true. And I think that's a huge differentiation. And modern day times, I don't see a lot of stock that has an honest give. I think it's something that you have to really understand your consignor and understand what kind of hand they are. So, for example, the old school mentality was, if your horse wouldn't jump in the trailer, you just whooped him until he jumped in the trailer. You would have to whip that horse every day of his life to get him to jump in the trailer, because he'd just tolerate the ride. But if you showed him how to do it, then you had to show him one time, and then he'd jump in the trailer every morning, and it was never a fight. And the same with the mule. I think they learn a little differently because they're so much smarter. I think submission halts mean a lot to a mule. If you scotch a foot up or you hobble them when you're saddling them, I think that means a lot to them. Where a horse will fight a scotch rope, a mule, they will just freeze. I've never had a mule take off with a scotch rope. They've just been, or they know what it is. And so I think there's a huge difference between skinny broke and fat broke, and you want the fat broke, basically. And for many horses I see that, like you said, you let off, that may have been rode every day, there's a little bit of toleration in there, and I think a guy just has to get under the surface. And that's another term I use, is surface train. So that's just more of your toleration. Like, I see it a lot with colts within the first 10 rides. Like, if someone says, well, I got this colt riding around, and I'll watch him ride him, and I think, man, goodness, that colt's going to can him here in about 20 days. And they say, well, we've been had 20 rides. I can't believe he bucked. Well, they skipped some steps in the beginning, and that horse is just tolerating him until he could see an opportunity to get him off of him. And it just kind of transcends, along any situation, really.
And I think most of our consigners at our sale will know the difference between skinny broke and fat broke. Yep. So if you come to our sale and you say, hey, is that mule skinny broke or fat broke? And they don't answer, he's probably well, I don't want to say skinny broke, but you know what I mean. They need to be honest. I mean, they should, they'll know the difference. They'll know what you're talking about.
That goes exactly back to what I was talking about. I wouldn't call it skinny broke or fat broke or whatever, but if you get a horse or a mule that somebody's riding all day, every day, and they're going to act differently than they would if they were rode twice a week. You know what I mean? Like most of them, until they get some age on them, and that's that. It goes back again to what I say. Like, if you're an amateur, go for those middle-age animals that have been used. Go for those middle-aged animals that have been used, and those are probably more in your wheelhouse than these young ones that are skinny broke or fat broke. I don't care which way it would be. But go for one that's had some miles put on them, and a
big dose of wet saddle pads.
Yeah, well, I got a funny story for that, actually. so there, I won't mention any names, but one of the guys, his dad, he was a famous team roper. If you're in the Western world, you'll figure it out. But his dad was at a barn there in Southern California, and somebody was having trouble with a horse, and he told him, he said, I'll tell you what's the best thing for that horse, wet saddle blankets. You and I and everybody else, not everybody else, but most of us know what that means. Is hard riding. A lot of sweat out of an animal will make a wet saddle blanket. So you're using that animal a lot. Well, anyways, this guy comes back the next day, and this person is saddling their horse, and they're hosing the saddle blanket down before they saddle the horse. He said, what are you doing? Well, you said the best thing for this horse would be wet saddle blankets. So but yeah. Anyways, then there's those.
I've got a few more questions. Is it all right? Can I ask them, Shorty, you care?
Yeah, hey, ask away.
All right. So a person shows up at your barn, your sale, and they think they're doing their homework and all this stuff, and they get a mule that's let's even qualify them. They're a weekend warrior. They're wanting a mule that they can take home, take care of them in the saddle and stuff like that. And they're getting it from a cowboy or pretty reputable buyer or whatever. But they didn't ask all the right questions. How should they take care of that mule when they get home? How does a person do their homework? Because I know what I've seen this a lot. People will go, they'll buy a head, they'll bring it home, and automatically they put it on. I'm gonna put them on the best feed. I'm gonna put them on the best hay. I'm gonna do all that stuff. What's your advice from selling that much stock to people that you would tell them about going to a sale barn and buying something, and then how to take care of them at home?
Are you saying if the mule does bad when they get home?
No, I'm just saying
when they get home.
They bought one that's skinny broke, and they get home.
Oh, what do you do?
Yeah, I guess I'm speaking from.
They're not necessarily pleased with what you're getting at. It was what they.
No. I don't think he's trying to say that at all.
It's
like what should
you
be
get
the
this
first
person
thing?
They've got all the best intentions in the world, and they get it home, and they want the mule or the horse to get used to them, and make sure that they're getting along with their pasture mates and all this other stuff. If you were going to sell a mule or a horse to somebody, what kind of advice would you give them for when they get them home the first week?
Well, at our sale, they get 3 days to crawfish on the deal. So if they don't call within 3 days, it's theirs after that.
Mm-hmm.
And we just act as agents.
I think a guy needs to go over there. You need to, obviously, if you bought your animal, you need to talk to the consignor and say, hey, this is what have you been feeding him? And we've been feeding him a grass alfalfa.
That's what I'm looking. That's what I'm looking for right there.
You
Trey.
put him on the grass alfalfa mix, but you don't need to wait 2 weeks to ride that thing. You get him home, you better unload him out of the trailer.
Yeah.
What I mean.
I'd get on him the first day.
That's right. Yeah. You get on
that night
you ride
after you buy it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure he's things right.
Yep. And honestly, when he rides them out of the ring, I'd be stepping on him probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'd just be doing as soon as you can. You need to get over there and you need to figure this thing out because, after the sale, say you come to our sale and you get there and you buy you an animal, and then all of a sudden you're hooked up with work for the next 30 days. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's either you do that or you have somebody there, like a younger guy or somebody else that's can ride, that they need to be riding the animal the next day, or they need to be using that thing for the next 30 days. Because when you come back from work, my gosh, he needs to be in the same mental state, or, he needs to be rode down or needs to be used for that 30 days prior, or, after you've gotten back from work. He needs to have had a job,
Mm-hmm.
And Wade said it best. Those mules don't do good. They're not good to be dry worked. In other words, like, you don't just need to go take them over there and pin and poke and prod on them. Like, they need to be going and doing something, or they just need to have a job. So,
and again, I want to reiterate, and this is my assumption. You guys tell me if I'm wrong, but y'all aren't trying to sell trail mules. You're selling there's going to be a few of those come through, but for the most part, this is, and again, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to overstep my boundary, but this is, you guys are trying to sell hunting animals.
Yeah. And I guess, Shorty, what we're trying to do is if somebody wants to bring us a mule that a lady wants to go pleasure ride, that's not really rides around. No, we'd love to have him, because I think we can market him just as good as anybody else. And
correct.
And if that's a clientele base that comes to our sale, we want to be able to service them. And at the same time, if you or I or friends of ours want to come get them a good mule to go line hunt on, I want them to come over here and I want them to buy one from us. So,
that goes exactly back to my point, which is
yes,
like you need to do, if you're a potential buyer,
correct.
You need to do your damn homework.
That's
period.
Exactly right. Yep.
You need to find out. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Always.
Always.
But yes, but that's where I want to be clear.
Yes,
it's not your goal to sell trail animals. You will.
yes, sir.
But
Right.
there's going to be a lot of hunting animals where these people use the hell out of them every day. I don't care if it's a mule or horse or dog, and
Correct.
and you need to do your homework ahead of time. What's something? Let's transition a little bit into the sellers. Like, what's something that these sellers could do to kind of cue people into what kind of animal they're looking at that maybe they already do, they don't do. I noticed some things. Well, I'm going to talk about a little bit later that was done and was not done, and animals pricing variations. But anyways, what's some of your guys' thoughts on how can a seller really show what the animal is, besides what you guys are doing as far as the catalog and all that stuff like that? Can they go ahead of time and market them themselves?
I think what a guy needs, this isn't nothing new. It's something that people have been doing all over the country, not necessarily at the mule sale. I mean, there's only a few mule sales across the country anyway, that I mean, on the western half of the U.S., right?
Yeah.
But like if you go to any big horse sale around the country now, those horses are all advertised on Facebook and online. There's videos of them, extensive, good quality videos.
By you?
By the consigner of the animal.
There you go.
By the consigner. So they need to help themselves as well.
Yep.
There's only so much time in the day that Wade and I have. For one, we can't hardly get our stuff done, that we just personal stuff. So when you consign that animal, you need to help yourself along the way. And also, if you do that, that correlates to fair market on your animal when you go to selling. But I'd say good video, good picture. That's crucial to people. Like I'm going to use this person as an example, but she bought that mule on the internet, the high selling mule. It went all the way back to, I want to say it was Maine. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But we had some good videos of that mule in the arena, and they weren't necessarily professional videos, Shorty, but they were like honest videos. Like you could hear them talking in the back. I mean, it was just
that's what I want to see.
Look at this thing riding around. Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to see a videographer and a setup show. I want to see.
Yeah. This is just real raw
off your
stuff.
cell phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this thing did that, and she was I talked with her on the phone before she had bought it, and that was confidence builder for her. And then she got to talk to the consigner, and then we sold it and stuck it right on the truck, and she got along great with it. So, but she helped herself along. She did her homework,
her research,
and then the consigner on his side sat there and took them videos, and it was all just, it was just right. He did it. He does his homework. He does his diligence and make sure that his product is advertised how it should be. So
and rightfully so.
We have that mule preview, and then our trail ride caught on. If you're a consigner or a buyer, participate in all the previews in the little trail ride. If you're a buyer, you test drive your pickup before you make sure everything's okay. And as a consigner, be present there, because you got to give people an opportunity. That just whole dry run, slide him into the ring and spin him around a couple times. It's fine if you know what you need to have, and you probably have already made your mind up before he gets into the ring. But be present to just let people look at your stock. That is huge. Even if you don't put any videos on social media, just the fact that you're present with that mule in front of his stall for people to come visit with you and look at the mule and ride him around in the parking lot or whatever you need to do, that is just huge. importance. I mean, Trey and I can only do so much, and at some point, the consigners have to take the slack up on their end, and
for sure. Oh no, absolutely. Well, that's anything in the sale business. They got to do their part. You guys, ride them in the ring. You guys just do your part from there.
Yeah,
the marketing before, but so other than you guys have a trail ride.
Hey, we had a little team roping preview this year.
That's what I was leading into. So tell us about the previews that you have. The trail riding is obviously one of them, and then the team roping's another.
Yeah, we had.
I'm glad I didn't go over there, and I didn't go over there intentionally.
Yeah, because you didn't want to buy you a team roping mule. Hey, we had some good ones though. Our buddy from down south had some good. I drew a blank. Wade.
Pony
Hernandez.
Yeah.
Gosh, almighty,
they're fun. Yeah.
Yeah, he had some good ones there, and then I mean, you could just really see that. Hey, them things are. If you go out there and Payata one across the arena and actually make you a complete run on a mule, that thing's probably pretty broke.
Oh yeah,
so that's something to go look at.
Yeah, no, I don't need another. I got one. I don't need another one. That's why.
Well, hey, we'll have to load up and go to Bishop one of these days and enter the mule team.
Hey, let's go. I'm ready. She's ready.
All right. We're gonna do the mule racing. I got me one for the mule racing.
I got one you can ride if you can stay on her. I think she'll win.
I'm not jockey material. I'm just the pony guy. I'll unsnap you.
So let's go. Let's I think enough about the mules and the horses and whatever. Let's talk about the hounds. I know you guys sift through everything, whether it be mules, horses, or hounds, whatever. What's kind of some of the parameters that'll get a hound into let's just say I wanted to put a hound in the sale. What do I need to have as a hound before he's accepted into your guys' system?
Do you want to go, Trey, or me tackle it?
Go ahead. I got some.
I would say if you tell us what your dog is, we got to have videos of him doing it. If you tell me, you say, hey, I got a dirt lion dog. This thing, he strikes and he trails and he trees. Well, we have cell phones nowadays, and you can tell when your dogs are about to open, especially when you're hunting on your mule or right next to him. Let us get a video of him striking. Let us get a video of him trailing up the hill. And if he's at the tree, let's get a video of him treeing. I know that I've done it for my dogs just because I thought it was pretty neat. I thought I better document that. That's kind of a fun little deal when I have the opportunity. So I think it's very, very important to send us videos and, represent your dogs accordingly. Don't sell us a dog that's an outstanding bear dog that catches lions in the snow and then say, well, this is a dirt lion dog, which not saying he's any less of a hound, just represent him accordingly to what he does. It's like trying to have a cutting horse and a racehorse of equal value in their disciplines and say the cutting horse is a racehorse and the racehorse is a cutting horse, totally different thing. And so I just appreciate it when they're playing with us about what he is or she is. And then videos are a huge thing. And that is a huge promotional. We post a video of a dog striking a line track and then they see him trail up the hillside. That instantly builds buyer confidence in that hound. They can see they're like, this is visual evidence of this lion or this dog striking this lion on the rock and trailing up the hill. And that's just a huge thing for us.
Right.
Yes, sir. Very important.
Go ahead, Trey, what's your deal?
He pretty much covered all the bases.
But damn, what in the hell are you doing here then?
Yeah.
No,
he just left.
Wait,
yeah.
Wade answers all the questions, and then Trey just got mad.
Just got mad. Yeah. No, and that's the thing. What I saw at the sale was the dogs that had the most videos did very, very well because, like you said, it caused buyer confidence.
Yeah.
And you guys do a really, really good job of making sure that the dogs and or the handler are very competent. Like I didn't see anybody there that had a dog in the sale that I was like, yeah, that guy's a jackass. He sucks. He just got a good social media page and that's it. But he's, you guys have done your homework, and I think people can be very confident in buying a hound from there because y'all aren't just basing off of social media post. It's actual in the field, what people can do, their reputation, you know what I mean? Like I didn't find anyone there who was like, what's this jackass doing here? And I'm kind of skeptical
I met
about
one
that
like that. He rode to the sale with me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but I wasn't buying or selling. I was just going there to drink a few beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shorty.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. It's not that we're trying to
maybe it's working.
Discard anybody or cut anybody out by any means.
You have to.
But
hey, I'm just going to tell you this right now. Quit being so polite.
Well, we're just
they're trying to have a successful sale. It's me and your job to be the assholes.
Yeah. Well, no, but really, you need to be blunt because.
Oh yeah, no, and we are.
If you piss off a potential seller that is full of shit, who cares? What you want to do is please the buyers. So tell them how it is. Don't to hell with the half-ass sellers. Tell us how it is. Quit being so polite.
Well,
the problem is. Go ahead, Trey. I don't want to interrupt you.
We do want people to know that we are very, very blunt, and not that like we're trying to be rude, but
you don't have to be an asshole to be blunt.
No, we're not, and we're just like, hey, just straight up, and I don't mean to cut anybody off, but like if you're watching this video right now and you're looking to come buy a dog, hey, I'm regulating, and Wade is too. Like if they say something that, hey man, I got this dog for sale, and we don't like how that feels or what we think about it, we're just going to tell them what we think.
That's what I was looking for.
And we've pissed several guys off already.
Sure. If you don't, you become a trade days.
Exactly.
The trade days back east here have had reputations for the last century. If you want to get skinned on a dog, buy him from a dog trader.
Right.
And go to the trade days and buy one off the chain. No better way to get skinned than that. I think you got to be
blunt.
Judicious. You got to be judicious and pick good stock. But really, I mean, you guys, if from everything that I've heard and being around you guys, I know this is what I get out of it anyway. It's my job as a buyer to ask the right questions. And from your sellers, you need people bringing honest stock that will answer the buyer's questions in all aspects, whether it's a dog, a hound, or a mule, or a hound, a horse, or a mule. I mean, it's you guys are just selling it, right?
You're only missing one thing though, there, Chris. You're correct on all aspects, but they're also trying to, for the most part, do the pre-sifting for you.
Yeah, no, we do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They're trying to do the pre-sifting for you, but that can only go so far. I don't care how judicious you get. Like, it's y'all said it early in the show. you need to be honest with yourself and your expectations.
Yeah, sure.
What can I handle? What can I do? And you guys are trying to make that a minimal process by making sure that the best of the best are there. But at the same time, I can't
cover all the bases.
No, like, I can't be an amateur rider and go buy that mule that Scotty Geringer said it's a cowboy mule.
Mule.
And go expect that I'm going to get on that and go on a trail ride. I
got something.
But you guys are trying to sort it.
Yeah, there was a kid, so we're on the dog deal, and there's not this past year, but the year before, I think we sold 18 or 19 dogs, Wade.
Yeah, that's right.
And we sold some started dogs, which we had done away with that for the 2024 sale. So I think this year,
glad you brought that up.
I think we sold 12 hounds at this year's sale. Is that right, Wade? 12 or 13 total.
We had 12 big dogs and we had 4 little guys.
Oh, 4 little guys. Okay.
Yeah.
And the four little guys were just pups that were not started.
Yeah,
but,
they were little guys.
What I was getting at, we're talking about the guy buying. So in the 2023 sale, there was a kid that's he's probably 26, 28, 30 years old, that he's from Nevada. And this was his first time buying a dog. He had dogs, but he had never bought a finished lion or a finished bear dog. And he come to our sale and he called us, and boy, he was real nervous. And I said, Preston, I'm going to tell you, you come over here and this is the ones I think you should try to buy. You either buy this one, you buy this one, and then you buy you 1 or 2 to go with her.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up buying Wade Hollerman's dog.
Yeah.
And he bought.
Hey, that Wade's a sorry son of a gun. I'm gonna tell you.
No, yeah. Yeah. Hey, but I always say,
Wade's a great guy.
Yeah.
No,
Wade's
a great guy, and he's a hard hunting son of a gun. He hunts for us here at the Paloma. So I'm giving Wade shit, obviously, but
that guy, he buys that dog, and he buys a started dog from Ross Black Welder, and he is catching them. And I mean, he lives up there, kind of up there by Lake Tahoe or something. And I mean, he catches them, lions, bears. He doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Oh, he don't.
He doesn't. Okay.
No, he catches fox and fox and raccoons.
Stuff. Yeah. He's not in California.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But anyway, he's doing good.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And that's honestly, like, if you got a starter check, you can go to your guys' sale, and I'm fully confident that I could go to your sale and buy 3 dogs and go catch anything in the country. Honestly, that's my honest opinion. I really do think that there's that quality of dogs at your guys' sale that I could, if plague hit my kennels and I lost everything, I really do. I think I could go buy 3 dogs there and go catch anything in the country. And
that's what we're striving for. I mean, just to keep it in layman's terms, we just try to have dogs there that Trey and I would like to have in our dogs.
Right.
So that keeps it pretty simple. If we don't feel like that would be a good addition to our dogs, that probably means it's not going to be a good addition to anyone else's. And
we got some questions here. Yeah. We got a question here that's been sitting here for a while. Oh. Jethro wants to know what kind of dogs Trey and Wade breed and raise.
I don't even know. How do we answer that, Trey? Because we basically have this.
I think we just need to answer it how Jim Farmer said it. Jim Farmer said it's a Southwest Hound. They need to be their own. He thinks they need to be their own strain of dog. What do you think, Shorty?
I didn't. I'm sorry, I broke up on you there for just a second. What was the question?
What kind of dogs did Trey and Wade breed and raise?
I told him I was going to give him a Jim Farmer's answer, and he said it's a Southwest lion dog. He said it needs to be their own. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, mine are they all came from either Papa Ray, Jim, Van, or Larry, and same with Trey. So it's all,
Yes, sir.
They're all basically the same dogs, and some look blue tick, and some look Walker, and some are red, and some are, they're all colors, but none of them really have any denomination to any particular pedigree, I would say, other than just they like lions. To keep
well, and that's the one thing I would say about, I think, a lot of houndsmen, whether it be east or west, is like you got your people that want to have a red bone or a blue tick or a whatever. I think, judging by what I know about the West, most people for decades have just bred the best of the best. They didn't give a damn if it was blue tick or Walker or whatever. The best dogs got to the breath. Catahoula in there.
Yes, sir.
You name it. And I think they've done the same thing back east. A lot of people, and I don't know because I haven't been back there, but just listen to some deals. There's some mixed up dogs that
a little more breed sensitive back east.
I think so, but there's some guys that don't care.
There's some guys that'll ride a breed into the ground, even if it's not any, it's.
My thing is, if
clicky.
it catches game, and it's a excellent dog, you might want to get some puffs out of it. But
my only rule of thumb is there's enough good dogs out there that catch game without me having to hunt walkers.
Yeah.
The worst part is I bred a red tick and I bred Fidel. That was Larry's that Rusty gave me, and they came out. You could have registered them as walkers. They look like registered walker hounds. The female is red tick and the male is his piece saddleback, black and blue. Just pretty interesting. And so I'll have to let you try one of those. You might keep one.
Man, I'll tell you what, Heath Hyatt's got a truck full of walkers that I would hunt any day of the week. I mean, his dogs are for real, and he catches a lot of bear in Virginia there. So I just say that tongue in cheek and as a joke, like life's too short to hunt an ugly dog or a walker. Yeah. Well, guys, Shorty, you still here? Shorty, I think, pitched out on us. You guys got anything else you want to wrap up the show with? I'm going to wrap her up. We've been going for an hour and a half.
I didn't know if we
got a time limit. What's that, Wade?
I didn't know if we had any more questions.
That's about all we got on questions.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Do you guys keep up with your social media stuff during the off season on the Horses, Hounds, and Mules Facebook?
We're about to. We're going to start posting. We had some videos of some guys that bought some dogs out of the sale this year. And,
but if people want to contact you, how they get a hold of you, Trey?
Yeah, Horses, Hounds, and Mules on the Facebook page. Horses, Hounds, and Mules is the Facebook page. You can get on there and shoot us a message, or our phone numbers are on there too. Just call us if you want to. Heck, holler at us. We'll visit with you.
Go ahead. What's
Trey.
the process to get if I wanted to put a dog or a mule in there? What's the process? Just get a hold of you guys and go from
just
there?
call us.
Give us a call.
Okay.
Yep. Give us a call.
Is there time limit?
We'll have to get them in before the catalog. We need to, and like we talked about earlier, if you want to help yourself, you need to be giving us a call, consign them, and then post that rascal on Facebook and post them on the internet and show people what you got and make sure everybody knows he's consigned to the sale, and don't sell him out from underneath us.
Here's I got a final question. Before have you had any from the last year have you had any just complete disgruntled people that were like, this bastard ain't what I bought?
We have not had one dog.
Not one dog.
There you go.
Not one dog.
And we give you 30 days. So that's another thing. Yeah. We sell dog insurance at the sale because you can show a purchase price. Very first times you can insure your hounds. I mean, how in the world can you insure a hound? They just have a fictitious value. Well, now we gave them a market. So now you have a defined value for what they're worth. And so we sell dog insurance there, and we give you 30 days to make your mind up on a hound. And And the reason for that time length versus such a shorter time on a mule is I've hunted for 20 something days, almost a month, and never caught a lion. And then maybe and then at one point in time, I caught 3 lions 3 days in a row after like day 29. Look, Trey and I were hunting together. That was a long stretch of.
And that's not, let me just be clear. That's not just you. Like, I've been fortunate enough to meet, and so have you guys, the Derringers, the Glens, you name them. That's not just you. That happens. You can go months without catching a lion, and then you might catch one, or
bam,
like you're saying, catch multiple or whatever. So with the Southwest lion hunting, that's not like, to go 3 months without catching a lion is not unheard of. It's not like, oh, he's got sorry dogs or he's whatever. But anyways, so I just wanted to clarify that, because we're going to have people watching this from all over the country, but it is especially, this time of year. Y'all have been getting some rain now. We have, but in the past 3 months, it can be really tough to go catch a lion. So that's not unheard of.
Yes, sir. So that's why we give them guys plenty of time, see what they got, and make a decision. And that we try to do that for buyer confidence too. They say, well, we're going to invest quite a bit in this hound here, and we want to give them opportunity to hunt him, and then we're going to give them insurance while they hunt him too, in case something crazy happens, because you never know what's going to happen when you're hunting an animal.
Yeah.
You're hunting an animal that can hunt you, and sometimes things get a little western, and you want to be able, to protect yourself financially if that happens, and that's why we do that. So we give 30 days and sell the dog insurance, and so we're just trying to add as much buyer confidence as we can.
Yeah, no, and that's great. And I know a lot of the guys that put dogs into the sale, and I'll just tell you this: they don't want to embarrass themselves.
That's right.
Their name is on that dog for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So,
for sure.
Another thing that people have to realize, if you're buying a 5-year-old dog that they're calling from the guys that we have consigned, if you're buying a 5-year-old finished lion or bear dog, there's a reason he's 5 years old.
Well,
he's good.
And there's a reason that there's a reason he's 5 years old and he's there. Yeah. And if he belongs to one of the, he's probably caught more lions in those 5 years. If you're buying dogs, he's probably caught more lions in those 5 years than you have in quite a while.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be the real deal. He's going to be the game changer for you. He's going to be the dog that's going to go. He or she is going to be the dog that's going to get those guys that hunt like that are putting those in the sale. You're going to get that dog, and if you're catching as much game as they do, you're not going to be looking for a dog.
So we sold a dog, sold the dog for Larry Webb.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys had purchased that dog, and I want to say the next day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, trailed lion every day. And this is summertime, remind you, July.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they ended up catching the lion on Friday the following week.
Right.
Caught him a lion with him.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you. I mean, that's pretty awesome stuff. Like to just take a dog out of an environment completely, take him and put him on a lion track in the summertime in the New Mexico high desert and catch a lion that next week is pretty remarkable. If you ask, I mean, I think pretty awesome stuff.
I don't put much into the environment other than good dogs are good dogs anywhere they go. Yeah, sure. But if you buy a dog from a guy like that, Larry Webb or Sam Derringer or Whitaker's or
Breck Bean
or those guys, Tie Hair, those dogs are the real deal. They've been there, they've done that. You're getting something that's worth its weight, and you're going to be able to go catch stuff. But
Yes.
Anyway, so no, well, what same dates next year?
Third weekend in July, 2025.
Third weekend in July, 2025. Chris,
I'm gonna look
you
at
going
my
to be
calendar
there?
right now. You bet.
All right. I guess you come laying over here again, or?
Heck yeah.
All right. We'll be there.
Make the reservation.
There, so.
That's one that I don't miss. I like that. That's a.
Yep.
We can have you guys miss. Not saying it'd reschedule, but we'd figure out how to get you out there.
No, the only request I have is you guys send us the host hotel before anyone else gets it, so we can make sure we have our rooms.
Well, just this little place that we're moving to, they have Airbnbs there right on the facility. So feel free to when we release that, you guys can call and get you a little cabin.
Bring that bedroll.
Bring your bedroll.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one, that's for sure. So, anyways, well, hey guys, we certainly appreciate it, and we appreciate exactly what you guys are doing, and I hope people around the country are interested and want to go to it. It's damn sure a good deal, and I think we talked more about lion dogs, but there's damn sure some Western bear dogs out here.
Absolutely. That
I think will work anywhere in the country. Chris has been out here and hunted with us, with Wade and Hunter's dogs, and I don't think there's much difference, to be honest with you. There's little differences, but anyways, I don't care where you're from.
If you got a bear dog, you'll catch bears.
There you go.
So
100%.
I'll close it up, if you don't mind, Shorty.
Go.
I just tell everybody, it's like, man, back east here, we have all kinds of we've got Autumn Oaks, we've got the Grand American, we've got the Winter Classic, we've got the World Hunts, we've got all these hound events back east here that are like big deals. And the reason I love coming to this Horses, Hounds and Mules sale is because this is like a Western event for houndsmen. You already know the date. It's October of 2024. And we know that it's going to be in the third weekend of July of next year. Man, do yourself a favor and mark those dates out on your calendar. When we were at the sale, you see kids, you see families, you see all this stuff. So do yourself a favor and go ahead and mark it on your calendar and include. And if you're from back east, include it on a Western vacation. I'm serious, man. It's worth the trip to go out there to that part of the country and just interact with all these people. So I can't stress it enough.
No, and if nothing else, even if you don't come out here planning to buy something, you might end up buying something, but you're going to meet some of the Western houndsman legends.
Yep.
That are still living, that'll be there, and it's a great time. So,
and I can tell you, even if you come out there and you're not equipped to haul something home, there were plenty of people that were willing to, they wanted to see me spend money, and they were trying to make all kinds of arrangements for me to buy that little mule that Hunter's buddy had. And
hell no, I was trying to get you to buy it so I could keep it here in the house and use it.
I know it, man. He was a nice one.
I know.
Yeah, but no, seriously, if you decide you're going to go out there, and there's plenty of people that are there and they want to see you either get the hound or the mule that you have. I guarantee you'll find somebody that'll say, "Hey, I can haul it back in my trailer, pick it up on your way back through, whatever you got to do." So
yeah, don't worry about the mule. Load the wagon.
That's right.
There you go. And you'll get to meet Wade and Trey and probably even get to meet the famous Seth Hall. So
oh man,
it'll be worth the trip. But anyways, guys, I appreciate your time. Thank you guys so much, and we look forward to seeing you guys out there. Damn sure be there. I don't know if I'll have anything in the sale this year, but I will in the next couple. I promise. I'm already gearing up toward that. So anyhow,
thanks, Shorty.
Y'all come out there, come see us at the Horses, Hounds and Mules sale, And until then, you guys keep the time in the kennel short and our toenails shorter. We'll see you guys next time.
Adios.
See you in the circle.